guys, I'm going to get straight into it. There are so many misconceptions about your driving test. The amount of times you hear from multiple learners and just people that have passed the driving test say all sorts of things, and then you're just like, what is actually true? What actually happens on your driving test? Does this make you fail? Is this going to make me pass? All of these questions go through your mind and you're not sure on the source of truth, or like what is the truth and what is actually real. Let's talk about it. Now, number one, the big misconception you hear about your driving test is if you mess up your parking, you will fail. That is incorrect. Now, incorrect to a certain degree. If you mess up your parking, it doesn't mean you get an instant fail or an instant major. You do have the chance to redeem yourself. So what does that mean? You usually get 3 attempts to rectify your parking. And if you still mess it up on those occasions, then that will mean you do fail and you would get a major for it, or a serious, whatever you want to call it. That is one misconception. Okay, I messed up my parking. I didn't get it in the line the first time round. That is a fail. It will only be a fail if you do it and you mess up consistently on that parking. The examiners are not that strict, although we all know UK driving tests can be such a struggle and there is a lot of scrutiny when it comes to the driving test. The second misconception is if I go the wrong way, I'm gonna fail. If the examiner says go left but I go right, if the examiner says take the third exit but I take the first exit, does that mean an instant fail? Because surely I've gone the wrong way now. Surely I've now directed the examiner or my route to something else and now we've gone off course. No, it is not a fail, but there's a twist. As long as you go and take that wrong direction in a safe manner, you will not fail. So the examiner isn't looking for, oh, well, they're taking the wrong exit, they failed now and that's the end of that. No, the examiner is looking at, okay, the student or the learner has taken the wrong exit, but will they do it in a safe way? That is what they're looking for. So you could take the wrong exit, but as long as you do it safely, whether that means taking that wrong exit or going around the roundabout and taking the correct exit, it's more about doing it in a safe manner where you are not disrupting other drivers and you're doing it in a way that you won't cause any issues and you are aware of your surroundings. So just please get that misconception out of your brain, because I had that too. I'm not going to lie to you. When I was doing my lessons, that was going through my mind. Oh my God, I've taken the wrong exit. I've gone the wrong way. What's going to happen now? Don't worry, you won't fail, but it's more of kind of how you take on that situation and not panic, because that is definitely something that I do and a lot of people do, and then they end up messing and making a bigger mistake, which is like a chain reaction. You go the wrong way, you're panicking, and then you do something wrong and you don't look at your mirrors, and then it just all becomes a disaster. So that is one misconception that we need to literally get rid of, because it's not true. The third misconception that we hear about driving tests is if I don't know the answer to the show me tell me, I failed my test. No. If you mess up your show me and tell me questions, you're not gonna fail. I mean, yes, it kind of doesn't put a good impression or first impression to the examiner. Like, you kind of want to get it right. If nerves take over you and you do not answer them correctly, that is okay. I thought the same too. I was thinking and I was panicking the day before, thinking, oh my God, I don't know the answer to this question. I'm going to fail. Now, it will be a minor and not a serious or a major. Or just kind of see it as, if I do practice the questions and get them right, it will make the examiner have a good impression on me and they might think, oh, she's actually serious about her test. That's the only thing that we'd recommend you to know. It isn't the end of the world. Ignore about it and continue your driving test, because again, that is a minor and it is better to have a minor than to do something stupid or crazy and then get a major. The third misconception, or shall I say was that the third or the fourth? I don't even know. The next misconception is, it's not necessarily to do with something that could potentially cause you to fail your driving test, but this is kind of different in the sense of that a lot of learners think that they have to have their driving instructor sit in on the driving test. That is not true. You do not need to have your driving instructor sit in your driving test. Even if your instructor makes it feel like you kind of have to and then they're obliged to sit in, that is wrong and that is not true. So if you do feel like your instructor is pressurizing you to kind of say, I've got to sit in your driving test, like this is actually mandatory or that kind of thing, no, it's not true. It is an option, and if you feel safe or comfortable to let your instructor sit in on your driving test, then you can let them. If not, then that is a no, and obviously they don't need to sit in on your driving test. Me as a learner, when I did my driving test, I would never want my instructor to sit in on the test, because I'm sorry, that's just too much stress. I'm really scared because I've got my test, let alone have my instructor sit with me and judge me throughout the entire thing and staring at me through the rear mirror and being like, what are you doing? So no, stress-free is all we're going to go for here. Another misconception that a lot of learners think when it comes to their driving test is that they think that if they do make one mistake, for example, let's just say it's just one single mistake for a particular thing. So let's say they were too close to a car in front of them when they were stopping, or they didn't slow down well enough, whatever. So let's just say they did one mistake, right? They think that it's an instant fail. It is not an instant fail. A lot of the examiners are quite lenient, or even the guidelines for the test. If you do make one mistake, they could let you go for that, and it's not necessarily a serious or a major. However, if you make the same mistake multiple times with a continuous mistake, that could then lead to a serious or a major. So that is something that you need to keep in mind. So if you do make a mistake while on the test, don't instantly think you failed, because that really does throw you off. So think to yourself, okay, I've done it once. You know, if I do this mistake multiple times, then it will be a fail. So in your head at that time, you should be thinking, okay, I've kind of messed up here, I've done a mistake, but at least I know what the mistake was and I've kind of acknowledged it. Now it's time for me to not do that again, because if I do it again, that would kind of cost me my test. That is definitely a misconception, and it's crazy because it does stress you out. Ignore that, and then that way you can focus solely on the rest of your driving test and not worry about the mistake that you've made, thinking that that will fail your test, because actually you going on to stress about the mistake that you've made and then making more mistakes, that could then result in your failure of the test. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful to you. I know that these misconceptions are pretty common, and I'm sure that they will help a lot of you guys in terms of understanding that this isn't the case. And yeah, let me know what other videos you want to see, and I'll see you in the next one. And I'm sure you guys will smash your driving test, and I'm sure you guys will pass. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.